Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Itsuchi here. It is Christmas Day, at least here in Australia. Just wanted to hop online for a little bit. I did not return to the States for the holidays. Bump that. Family will be just fine. So I'm just here with my partner. But yeah, it's been a wonderful day. Saw Sonic 3, it was fantastic. Shadow's my favorite headshot characters, so it was nice to see him on the big screen. Anyway, all that aside, as the title implies, have a few things to discuss with you guys that I've been working on the last few days, and just did a couple of final touches on it today, and I wanted to showcase to you guys some of the unique animations in the game that are character specific that I've been working on to make the game come back to life again, where it's season 1 starting to feel more and more real. So we'll hop in and show you some of the things that have been added. Let's see, let's hop into a classic battle. So, right off the bat, some of the things that have been implemented have been custom poses. Obviously Team 7 has already had their iconic poses in the game for their generic, their character-specific stance, and also Kakashi has had a character-specific stance for a while. So I was like, okay, I was working with the importer, and I was like, you know, let me go ahead and add a few more. And then I ended up adding pretty much, well, I added everyone, all 15 characters for Season 1 now have their generic poses. So that would be Team 7 with Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. Obviously, we know that since it covers the graduation arc, it'll cover the graduation version, pre-graduation version of the Rookie 9. So we have Shikamaru with his iconic pose back, Ino with her pose back, Choji with his pose back, Kiba with his pose back. I switched it up on the feet. He's kind of doing kind of like a pace almost, a kind of bounce back and forth. That's because the feet really, I told you guys in a few previous videos, the animations do not always line up, especially the feet. Kiba was so bad, and so just, I was like, I don't even know how to fix this animation without having to scrap everything, basically, and build it from scratch. So I just decided to, instead of making the feet line up, I just decided to give him this little hop so that the feet don't have to line up, so, because they're not supposed to be touching the ground at the same time. So that's why he's hopping. It's just the animation was so bumped, and it did not import well. So yeah. So anyway, that's why his feet are like that. But I think it still works kind of for his energetic character. Also note the poses in the character select are slowed down to about, I think, half or 0.75 the speed. So they're faster in game, of course. We'll see that in a little bit. Anyway, that's Kiba. He's back. Hinata has her iconic pose back, and Shino has his iconic pose back. The rest, Lee, Neji, Tintin, Gaara, all of them show up in Season 2. So that's when they'll get their poses in Season 2 later. I didn't want to bother, you know, like, these do take a little bit of time, so I don't want to sit here and, because if I do them, then I'm going to do the Shippuden versions, and it's going to go into a tangent, and I'll be sitting here spending 2 days getting everyone's animations in hand. It's just going to be a waste of time for characters that will otherwise get scrapped for Season 1 anyway, because there won't be dummy characters in Season 1. Anyway, point is, now all the 15 characters have their poses, and of course, Iruka, Mizuki, and Ebisu have also already had their poses in there, so yeah. Oh, and then I added Haku and Zabuza. Haku technically had a character-specific pose, but it was one I did from the eye. I went on and changed it to her pose from the actual game, inside which a little bit more slouched. And Zabuza, he got his primary pose back. It looks kind of very similar to the dummy pose, but it is not the same. Zabuza does have a unique pose that's not, that is different from the dummy. Yeah, it's a bit faster and a little bit more like, macho. Something else I wanted to talk about, which I'll need to jump to gameplay for these, is the walking animation. I did not realize up until this, doing this, just how many character-specific walking animations are in Clash of Ninja. It's kind of overwhelming. I knew there were a few different dash animations, but only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most. And then same thing for walking. I thought it was like 1 or 2. I'm sorry, 2 or 3 walking animations. This is the generic walking animation that most characters will have. Well, not even most anymore. I have to go back and check now. A lot of characters will have this, and I thought it was most, with the exceptions of a few. I couldn't even name any off the top of my head. Then, but yeah, that's the generic animation. Let me add in a player 2 so I can show Sasuke. Yeah, so Naruto and Sasuke, actually all of Team 7 uses the, just the generic, sorry for the slowdowns, my computer's been on for a while, so it's hot. But yeah, this is the generic the generic walking animation forward and back. I did decide to change it. Again, there was a version of the game previously that I just did from the eyeball. This is the actual imported version from the Wii games. So it has been, yeah, this is the actual animation for the games. Just tweaked so their feet are on the ground. Anyway, so I noticed, I was like, oh wait, I think Hinata has a unique walking animation. And she does, because her fists stay out for the gentle fist. And then I was like, but she should be the only, like, one of the few exceptions, her and Neji. And then I started checking other characters. I'm like, oh my gosh, pretty much all the Rookie 9, all except for Team 7, all have different walking animations. And I didn't even know. Sakura has the same walk as Naruto and Sasuke. At least I need to go back and double check. I haven't double checked hers, but I'm pretty sure she has the same one. But Shikamaru has a unique walk. I'll do 2 at a time. And I don't think Ino had a unique walk, but I decided to give her one from a specific character because their poses are actually very similar. So Shikamaru has a unique walking animation where he keeps his hands in his pockets. So yeah, that is yeah. So he got a unique walking animation. I was like, okay, maybe he's the other exception. Everyone has unique walking animation. Shino, everyone. So yeah, that's Shikamaru's unique walking animation. And for Ino, I think Ino had a generic walking animation too, the same as Sakura. But I decided, I was looking at some of the other characters. I just kind of went through all the characters whose animations I imported recently just to see what their walking animations were, and almost all of them were different. I went on and gave to her, the walking animation from Toyuya. Toyuya has a peculiar walking animation where her hands are kind of outwards and she does like a little skip. It's very feminine. She kind of has bow legs. And I was like, oh wait, Ino has bow legs and her hands are kind of flailing around when she's in her stance animation. So I thought it would work well to also adapt into Ino's moveset. And it does. It looks perfect, and well, not perfect, but like it fits Ino's personality is what I mean. It doesn't look like a Toyuya animation that's on Ino. It looks like this was Ino's original animation. So yeah, this is Toyuya's walking animation, which is different from the regular one and different from Shikamaru's. It's also different from Sakura's. Sakura uses the standard one, so it'll give her a few more visual differences between her and Sakura. They'll have the same double jump, they'll have the same dash, but their stance, of course, and her walking back and forth animation are different from Sakura. So yeah, let's keep on going. We'll do Choji and Kiba. They'll get updated versus screen poses as well that match their personalities. So yeah, Choji is really slow, but yeah, he gets his he obviously clearly has a unique walking animation. I'll add his backdash soon, so for the moment he'll still backflip, but he will get a backdash, of course, where he won't actually flip, and the backdash will have slightly different properties. But yeah, Choji's kind of weird as he shares the same back walk animation as Jirobo, but his front Jirobo has a different walking forward animation, which was weird. But anyway, yeah, because I was like, I wonder if they have the same and they have the same back animation but not the same forward. Sorry guys, my laptop is running slow because it's hot. So that's what's causing the slowdowns. But anyway, yeah, that's Choji's forward and back, and of course, oh yeah, I forgot, he does have a unique run animation, I think. I need to add his run animation, I forgot about that. Because, yeah, he has a little bit more, like, chubby run. I hate saying that, but yeah, he has a chubby run. I forgot about it. I just thought about it. I was like, wait, he has not only a different backdash, but he also has a different running animation from this one. So I'll add his unique running animation probably after I make this video. And then, of course, Kiba, who also does get... I thought Kiba for sure would have a generic walk, but he does have a character-specific walk, back and forward. He has this little kind of skip he does. Sorry for the slowdowns, guys. It's really annoying. I really need a proper gaming computer. But yeah, he does this little skip backwards, and his walking and his dash, walking backwards animation, and then his forward is different too. He basically puts his hand in front, so his hand is upwards in his pose, so his hand stays kind of upwards in his walking. So yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the next group.
I won't go easy. Begin.
Good. And Hinata, obviously, she is in the Hyuga stance, so her hands stay outwards in that pose. And she's very, like, carefully, like, walking. She's gentle step. She has a gentle step, so her walking animation is very slow, very precise to match that gentle step pose that she's in. When she would awaken her Byakugan in the original game, she would get the same pose as Neji, which is a little bit more firm. So this Hinata stance, let me see if I can rotate Shino so you can see her stance from different angles. If you didn't notice this, her stance is a little bit less, or like her knees are kind of inwards, a little bit less stable, I guess you could say, and her arms a little bit more droopy, versus Neji's is more firm. He's more firmly planted in the ground, more confident in his stance. That's obviously to pay homage to like how he's a better fighter, that kind of stuff, and she's really insecure when she fights usually. So Awakening Hinata is supposed to be like, you know, the awakened version, much more firm, so that's why they kind of gave her the same stance as Neji, but I think that's dumb. I think the stance is just fine for Awakening Hinata, so I gave her the same stance for Byakugan versus non-Byakugan, and that way her and Neji will have different stances 100% of the time. Because Neji also will now have a version where his Byakugan's off and a version with Byakugan. So instead of Byakugan being like a symbol of strength, where without Byakugan she's timid, with Byakugan she's strong like Neji, instead they will both have with and without Byakugan variants that have the same pose. So the Byakugan will be more about, like each punch, for example, drains chakra. That's why his chakra keeps refilling, because each gentle fist punch blocks a chakra point, aka manifesting itself visually in the form of draining chakra. And in the I haven't programmed this part yet, but there will be a feature, since you can see 360 degrees, you will be able to block from backwards. I haven't implemented that now, so you can still get attacked from behind, but Byakugan users with their Byakugan active will have two properties. One, they drain chakra with any palm-based attacks, gentle fist. Kicks do not, because it's their feet, but any hand-based attacks will do it. Elbows do not include again. So yeah, and that can be signified by, you can see it'll cause a glow, a trail on her fists. That's how you know we're using gentle fist. Any attack that triggers the trail, and you see that trail does not occur without Byakugan, and chakra does not drain without it. And same thing when your Byakugan's active, you will be able to guard even when block even when facing behind if you stand still, because 360 degrees they can see you. Yeah. So that'll be a mechanic I'll add when I actually develop her moveset. Actually, that'll come in Season 2, because I just remember Hinata doesn't use Byakugan in Season 1. But we'll find out about her Byakugan in Season 2 when it gets introduced in the Chunin exams. So yeah, she will not get a Byakugan form. Byakugan Hinata will show up in Season 2 against Neji. Alright, yeah, so that's Hinata's unique walking, and then of course this is Shino's. I'll move it away from the wall.
Begin.
Hinata, slow down, and then Shino. Basically, one hand's in the pocket when he's walking backwards, both hands in the pocket when he walks forward. Yep. Slow down this way. He kind of has a little skip backwards. Yeah, that's, so yeah, these are some of the character-specific animations that have been added in, and I actually had to program, I had to soft program logic in to accommodate this. Basically, I used to just have the walk. I did introduce a few months ago a walking variable, because I knew there were going to be a few different walk animations, at least 2 different ones, because I remember like Kurenai has like a catwalk, and some characters have like this walk as their primary walk, not just the roaming walk. So, I need to fix the speed of that, that's too slow. So I knew that some characters would have this walk versus this walk, so I wanted to go ahead and program that logic, so I had a variable called the walking variable. So you'll play the walk forward animation plus whatever variable is tied to that character. So, you know, walk 00, walk 01, walk 02, walk 03. That's how I had it programmed. But again, that was more for generic. I'm not going to keep counting in numbers and then like, okay, which one is 0, which one is 4, which one's 6, because there's so many of them. So what I did was I changed the animator state to include character-specific walking variables. So instead of just 0001 for like the generic ones, there will actually, you can do like walk H and T for Hinata, or walk NRT for Naruto, and then I'll play character-specific walking variables. So, and so that's why I say it's soft-coded. The system was there for custom walk animations, but it wasn't there for character-specific, just for, I would assign a number. Now I can actually assign their name, and it will play whatever animation is tied to that character's name. as I add them in. So this would actually be Hinata's unique animation, walking animation. So if any other characters borrow this animation, I would tell them to use Hinata's walking animation, or I'll tell them to use generic, so on and so forth. I think the Shippuden variants, I don't think the feet will match up because they're taller, so that the feet may phase. So they, well, even though their stances are technically the same, they'll at different heights. They'll still need to be separate animations, so don't expect to see like the Shippuden cast that share animations getting the same ones, because they still do need to be modified to fit the Shippuden proportions. So so yeah, for now, only obviously younger Hinata will use this stance there. The rest will still have dummy stances. But yeah, anyway, these are some of the character-specific animations that have been added in so far. Obviously, the running animation was one that I added recently too, a while back. I mean, not recently, a while back. I covered a video on that. And then some characters have the ninja dash. Let me grab some examples. Let's see. We'll do Naruto and Sage Mode, Naruto.
All right, let's go.
Oh, there's kind of an example right there.
Begin.
Alright, so yeah, you guys already knew about this. Most just uncool characters, particularly Genin and Chunin that are not super cool, will get just a regular run animation. Yeah, and then we'll do Mira. Invert.
Begin.
Yeah. And then, yeah, and then cooler characters will get a ninja dash. Or faster characters. Any character that is known for moving fast or is cool will get a ninja dash. Yeah, and that's kind of what it looks like. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I have had obviously some character-specific animations before, but they were very limited. Like, there's just 2 dash animations, these 2. That's it. I didn't realize just how many different ones there were. I still think dash animations, there's only a handful. Like, there's the regular running, and then there's the ninja dash, and the only other one that I can think of, there's 2 more I can think of. There are people who dash with a tool behind them. Specifically, I know Tenten has this dash, Shippuden Tenten has this dash, and both variants of Temari have this dash, where they kind of hold their giant tool behind them as they run in this kind of quick dash. So I know them for a fact has a different dash, so that's a 3rd dash. And I know that Raikage and Bando, basically heavy characters, they do the ninja dash, but their torso, it's just they reanimate their arms to be outwards for some reason, like in a claw, like I'm running at you. So now they have the dash. Oh, and Kyuubi Naruto. I know Kyuubi Naruto runs on all 4s, for example. So there are at least, what is that? 1, 2, for the ones that are already in the game, 3 for the Tenten and Temari holding the weapons behind them, and 4 for Bando and Raikage, big heavy characters that run with their arms out. Killer Bee I think runs that way too, and 5 for the Kyuubi mode. So that's at least 5 different dash animations, which is already more than I've actually counted, and there's probably a few more that I'm missing. But I know there's at least 5 dash animations. And then, are there any more? Hiriko doesn't count. Hiriko, all of Hiriko's animations are different. Oh, Choji! Choji has that kind of like chubby run where they kind of run like they're trying to keep up. They were mean to Choji. So that's 6. I'm trying to keep my hands on the show my hands on the camera. So 6 dashes that I can think of off the top of my head. But we're already with the walking animations. We're already at the generic Toyuya, Shikamaru, Shino, Hinata, Kiba. Who else? Everyone basically in season 15. The Jonin actually have a different walking animation that's not the same as the standard one. They have a generic one for the Jonin as well that's different. I know Kurenai and Kagura and basically any girls that are trying to be sexy do a catwalk when they walk forward and back, so that's unique. Yugao and Chio have a walk where they're kind of like crouched down. So all kinds of like Zabuza and Kisame share a walking animation where they kind of walk with this kind of like their backs a little bit more arched, showing that they're carrying weight as they walk on their backs from the swords. So I reckon Suigetsu will probably get that walk as well. And then you have characters like Sasuke and Killer Bee who just walk normally, doing this walk, walking normally as they walk forward and back. And Sasori as well has this walk, and he gets super armor when he walks that way, because he's a puppet. So yeah, there's already a few different walking animations that I need to, probably more than, I'd probably say more than 20 unique walking animations will end up being in this game, and maybe around like 6 to 8, or maybe 6 to 10 unique dashing animations. But yeah, definitely be in the probably 20 plus range on the walking animations. They're not super hard to add. Like I added in like 3 of them yesterday, 3 or 4 of them yesterday, and then like 2 more today, something like that, 2 or 3 of them more. So they're not super hard to add. And obviously they can be applied to multiple characters when they are added, which is positive for sure. Like I'm sure Lee, Neji, and Tintin will probably share some of the animations I've already got in whenever I add them, so they'll just be, you know, assigned as variables. Like I don't think, even though Neji's pose is different, his walking animation might be the exact same as Hinata's, and since they're both Genin, they'll be the same height, I don't have to change it. So they'll likely share the same walking animation, or if they do need to change, then I'll change it. But yeah, those are examples. These are all animations that will get recycled with other characters, which is a positive on that front. So that is definitely a positive there. I think Akari, she uses the Genin scale. I think I gave Akari the Tsuyu walk as well. Let me see if I did that, because I'm pretty sure I would have, because she uses the Genin scale. So I think she would have the same walk as Ino. Let's check. Because she's small.
Begin.
Maybe I should give it the tuning. Yeah, I did. I was like, I think I gave her the same. Oh, I need to fix her speed. Sorry, I gotta program actually the speed of their walk. That's programmed. It's not tied to the animation directly. I forgot to update, because I forgot to add her this animation. I forgot to change her speed to match the 2 animations. That's why she, yeah, I just gotta change her speed to match Ino's speed. And Tuya as well. I did add in Tuya, and I did change Tuya's speed as well. But yeah, so I gave her the Tayuya walk. Oh my gosh. I gave Akari the Tayuya walk. Yeah, and she just has the regular Genin run. She does not ninja dash. And of course, Tayuya.
Bring it on.
Do.
Begin.
Yeah. So this is the speed they should be running at, or walking at. Yeah. And this should cover her second state as well. Yeah. Ugh, the slowdowns are killing me. So yeah, this is looking very GNT4 now. With the Tsuyu walk, I gotta add her flute to her hand, and then of course her pose. They don't show up until season 4, so that's why I didn't bother with their poses yet. But yeah, this is the Tsuyu walk, and Ino shares it. Yeah, I just thought it fits Ino's personality as well. Yay! Anyway, yeah, that's most of what I have to show you guys. It is so cool. I'm so glad. Like, I'm seeing for the first time. Like, I didn't actually test it with CM2 earlier today. I did test it with regular. So not only is it cool to see like the Sound 4 getting unique animations for the first time in Clash Ninja Base 1. This is the first time in Clash Ninja we're seeing like Sound 4 with character-specific stuff in their base forms. And it is nice to see like level 2 as well, because obviously, not obviously, but I did make some edits to her model when I imported it. For some reason, these models were so ugly in GT4. They were so ugly. So I made some tweaks to them to make them look a little bit better. I gave their sash around their waist. Those were very blocky. I mean, it still isn't the tie on the back, but I gave it actually a few extra vertices and rounded it off a little bit to make it look at least a little bit more round around their waist. They were actually more square, or actually they were square in GNT4. And I also gave her legs better and feet better proportions. Their feet and legs were massive in GNT4. I do not know why. Oh, and they were also square in the back. And so I do believe I updated the back as well and gave them actual proper calves, because they were actually just flat squares, and so they weren't even proper octagons. They tried to cut as many corners as possible in GT4. Oh my gosh, I can't stand them. The models in GT4 were particularly bad, like particularly low quality. I do not know why the models were so poor in GT4 specifically compared to the rest of the game. They're just so bad. But anyway, yeah, so I gave her better proportions on her legs and feet, shrunk her feet down to actual normal proportions, gave her actual proper skinny legs that weren't, like, there were some characters where their legs were so wide they were like they were phasing outside of the shoe. like just poor model quality. Their legs were the same size at the top of the calf. Like they basically had cankles at the top of the calf versus the bottom near the ankles. They were the same size. So I shrunk the legs all together and shrunk the ankles even further, so she gets proper, like it goes skinny at the bottom. Shrunk her feet. So it's interesting, like seeing the updated model now get some of these character-specific animations. It's like, wow, it's like GT4, but like looking slightly better. And I haven't even rigged yet. Like I need to rig the hair and the sash to like move with the, you know, when they move. Right now it's tied to her leg bone, but eventually I'll need to, when I get to that season, I'll rig them properly so that they glow and flow with the actual gravity, not just tied to the legs. But yeah, it's so cool seeing the character-specific animations with some of these Japan exclusive characters that we haven't seen, and also forms that we haven't seen. Yeah. And of course, alternate outfits like Ino in orange with her unique pose now. It's like, it's no longer feeling like, I mean, I guess it maybe feel like a fan game still, but slowdowns, computer, come on, F off. Look at it, it's so sluggish. It does this when I play Dolphin too, so that's how I know it's my computer, not my game. Because even when I'm trying to play on Dolphin to like test their movesets and see what moves they had in the previous games, it would slow down like this. My computer must be super hot now because it's slowing down even more now that I'm recording. But anyway, Jesus, this is terrible. Ugh, I hate this computer. Okay, I don't hate it, but I need to get a proper gaming computer that can cool down. This thing is old. Anyway, yeah, it's cool seeing Ino in like a brand new outfit in her iconic pose. I'm gonna have to end this video soon because this slowdown is ridiculous. That it's just not running like smooth at all anymore because of how hot my computer's getting. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Have a great day. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year's, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy what's the other one? Hanukkah. Cheers.